All right, I'm live. Day 3. I'm still kicking. Uh, I don't know. Still got a headache. A lot of people say take Tylenol. I'm not a real big medicine person, so ain't no Tylenol going in my body yet. Um, Maybe I will. I'm not sure, honestly. Day 3 to beer bug, Corona, whatever it is that I got. I don't know if I got it or not. Trying to get tested. The only testing I can find anywhere is the um, antibody blood test, unless I go to the hospital. It's the only place around here that's doing any active testing of any kind. You have to go to the hospital. I've called the hospital twice, and they have told me until you have symptoms, real strong symptoms, there's no sense in coming. They're not going to give me the test. Um, that's how it is, man. I am in the desert. I am in the Mojave Desert. Uh, it gets to be 115, 116, 117. If we're friends on Facebook, you've seen my post yesterday. I got in my car to go get the room air conditioner, and it was 136 degrees outside. Well, everybody's going to say the sun was beating down on it. I ran the air conditioner for 45 minutes. It got down to 128. So you tell me how hot it is. All I know is it's freaking smoking hot out here. Call it what you want. It's hot. So I did smell the Vicks, on camera one day, and it kind of, I smelled it. I don't smell it as much today. I still smell it. It's still kind of strong, but I still smell it. I taste my coffee. I taste my food. I taste the berries in my berry Cheerios. So none of that is gone. I have an O2 sensor on my phone, and if you don't have an app, you really should get one. If you have a Samsung phone, in Samsung Health, they have an app. I got this pulse oximeter, and I can do it right here online. You can see the light. Put my finger over that light, and it will test for me, and we can watch it test. Okay. Let me do it again. I'm flatlining, guys. I'm dying. Huh. Let me do it this way. I may have to clean the lens. Oh, no, there it goes. My O2 stat is at 94. It's not getting a real good reading. I'm probably got to. Oh, yeah, I could see it. The lens is a little dirty. But my O2 is high, so I'm okay. I get between 94 and 97 is where I've been hitting with the O2 on here. And I check it every hour or so. Yeah, Ingrid says, morning, guys, silly question, but what if you tell them you lost your smell? If it was like strep throat or poison ivy or something like that, where if I tested positive, they would give me medication. Excuse me, it makes sense. To know that if I'm positive or not does not affect how you're going to treat it. There is no medication you can take. especially with the symptoms as mild as I have. I mean, um, don't ask me to run a marathon, but if I needed to walk down and spend the day in the pool, I could physically do it. Um, the most, the biggest symptom that I have at the moment is a headache. The headache just stays. It doesn't, it's a constant headache. It varies in degree, it goes up and down in degree, but there's no, you know, um, and I don't take Tylenol, which is my own fault. I'm an alcoholic and I say no to medicine of any kind. That's just how I am. My wife will tell you, I'd rather suffer through a headache than take 2 aspirin. So I, I feel drained. My chest is still a little sore. My smelling seems to be a little less, but I'm nasally. I'm real nasally. So is it because I have a lot of gunk in my sinuses that I can't smell as well as I did 2 days ago or yesterday or whenever the hell I did the smell on it? And you see me yank my head back because I got that strong Vicks smell. You know, I don't know. I'm not saying I haven't. I'm not saying I don't have it. I don't know. This recording is for my, and let me reiterate that this recording is for my grandkids and my great grandkids to give them an idea of what I'm going through, with the idea of knowing that. No, I don't. No one's picking. Somebody, they asked if there's free steaks down by the pool. Am I ready to run? No, I'm not going to run for a steak. I may walk down and grab one, but no. Um, this is like, I want them to know my anxiety, my Arthur. I pray daily that you're right, that it's just from the heat that I got, not heat stroke, but heat exhaustion, and it caused it. And because of the extreme heat and the heat in the RV for the last couple of days, that it hasn't gone away. But if I do ever finally get tested, there's a free test I found out about at LabCorp. You can order it online. I got to put in all the information. I've had a busy morning trying to make sure that everybody's ready in case something happens that I am sick and I can't do. I'm trying to make sure that everybody's okay, including my wife who doesn't drive, guys. So I got to take that into consideration too. So I really hope you're right, Arthur, because it's not progressing as fast as I thought it would. But I'm still keeping an eye on it. I really feel that I need to keep an eye on it. We are in touch with the people that have tested positive, and a lot of my symptoms are reflecting what they were going through. Does the heat help me fight it? Is a question that they posed. And a lot of people have asked about the desert heat. Does it fight? Does it kill it? Does it make it less strong? I don't know. I don't know any of this, guys. I am by no means have any idea. Honestly, I lived in a little bubble. We are here in Arizona, and there was 9 confirmed cases for 2 months straight. The numbers this morning are that there's over 1,800 confirmed cases, and there are 81 deaths in the county. Yes, and Arthur, I am paying very close attention to the heat. I'm making sure that I hydrate. I do take in my glasses of water. I am down 3 pounds on my diet, so I am paying attention to all this stuff, guys. But the numbers spiked drastically. But we live in a gated community, and everybody is over 55, so we're all going, okay, we really don't want to take any chances. We order our food from Walmart, and we all go and pick it up in our cars, and they put it in, and we don't touch nothing, and we don't go in the store. But then But then you get around friends and stuff and you kind of let your guard down a little bit. We are social beings. We do need social interaction. So I was invited over for coffee. I went. I didn't think nothing of it because they were doing the same. I feel like they self-quarantined with me through March, April, May, when we went nowheres. You know, you go back and look on some of my old YouTube videos. We walked around the ghost town of Laughlin. If somebody was walking towards us on the same side of the street when we were out trying to get some vitamin D, we crossed the street so we didn't come in contact with anybody. We had zero contact with people for March and April. May was the first time we had contact with anybody, and even that wasn't much. Because when we got to this park, we kind of self-quarantined again because the pool was closed. So we didn't go to the pool for the first month. There was nothing here. We walked. We waved hi from across the street. And everybody kind of did the same thing. When you were walking towards each other, you kind of went to opposite sides of the street. So everybody here has kind of let their guard down. There's nobody to blame. There's nothing, but because of it and the timing of it is what has me the most concerned of anything, is that one couple has tested positive. There's several couples in here that have symptoms now, but are in the same boat where there's no testing. They're trying to get into the doctor to get the blood test. The blood test, they take your blood. Here's how it works. They take your blood, they send it out, and it comes back approximately 10 to 14 days later, you get a result. That's not going to tell me anything except for if I have antibodies in my blood, which means I'm either currently exposed to it, I'm going through it, or I was recently exposed to it and went through it already. It does nothing for how I'm going to treat this. So I understand everybody's fear of the testing. That is the media, by the way. The media is shoving that freaking testing down your throat like that. Guys, it's not that bad. If you only have a headache, they're going to tell you at the test center, don't check extreme, because there's 3 boxes to check of where your symptoms are. So I'm doing what the local people are telling me to do, including the hospital, which I've called twice. So somebody's saying, hello, John, glad to see you're not getting worse. Maybe try an oximeter to monitor your oxygen levels. If your levels stay over 90, you should be good. You can get it on the phone. I was just showing that. You can get an app on the phone if you have like a Samsung that has a sensor, and you can measure it on there. It may not be dead accurate, but trust me, if I see it dropping from where it is right now, better bet that I'm going to go have somebody else check it for me. And you have to be able to get an oximeter. Yeah, I think what people are struggling to realize is how far out in the middle of nowheres I am. There is a strip along the river that is heavily populated. There are a few chain stores, but there is no mall. There is a Walmart. It is mostly desert out here, guys. If there's not a house on it, it's just dry, dirty sand and rock. The ground is very hard here from a lack of rain. And if you live on the East Coast, there is no way for me to describe it for you to understand until you experience it yourself. I can't. I'm looking in the camera going, look at all that trash I got to get out. I am going to take the trash out, except for it's a half a mile down the street. So I'm going to put it in the car and I'll drive down to half a mile round trip, not down the street. Round trip. I feel okay. I feel run down. My mother was asking me this morning. I feel a little bit better now. I think part of it is that I'm on my 3rd cup of coffee, which means I'm another cup over. Um, hey, Sue, how are you? Uh, I was required to take the test before I could be admitted to the hospital. Admitted, not for COVID. Test isn't so bad. I'm not worried about the test. The problem is I've called there's a LabCorp here, and they will take my blood next Monday. They're booked solid till next Monday to take your blood for the COVID test. And then it's 10 to 14 days to get it back. I tried Walgreens, I tried CVS, I've tried some of the grocery stores. There is no drive-through. There is no diagnostic testing done in this county except for one place and one place only, and that is the hospital. And when I call, they say, don't bother coming because we're going to send you home. We're not testing everybody that walks through the door. If your symptoms are to the point that they think you may need to be admitted, like Sue was admitted for some testing, not COVID, Safeway is where the lab is. If you go to the hospital and they feel like they may need to admit you, they will test you. That's it. I've tried, guys. And again, the testing will only tell me that I'm positive. It's not going to make me feel better. It's not going to change my headache. They are not going to give me a prescription to make me feel better. The only thing the testing does is tell you if you're negative or positive. That's the diagnostic test, and that is many times false. The more accurate test, the blood test, is a 10 to 14 day test. Once they draw your blood, they send it out from here. There is no place here that does testing. The hospital sends it to Vegas, and they send the results back by courier. That's how it works on the blood test. There's no one here around. They have some instant tests of some sort where they do the nasal swabs. Who probably knows more about it than I do? Some kind of nasal swab, and there's a quick test that they can do. The hospital has those. That's it, guys. That's where the testing is here. So if you live somewhere where you can just drive up to CVS and get tested, God bless you. I can't. So, and I'm going to start ignoring all the comments about get a test because I can't. I have tried. The only way I'm going to be able to do it is order one online. I will get it ordered today, and they will send it out to me. And I got to do a nasal swab and then send it back to them. So anybody have any questions? I mean, I seem to have a little more energy right now. Now, an hour ago, I was kind of run down. I know that I've had to push myself to get a couple of things done. And sometimes when I push myself, I get energized, even when I'm sick. I feel more like it's sinus, to be honest with you. But it's because of the day and age we live in and the hype from the media. I still think the media is hyping this more than it needs to be and scaring people more than it needs to be. Other than that, I'm doing okay. And that's why I'm recording this, because in 10 years or 20 years, when my grandkids go through this, I can say, look, I only had heat condition. But look at what I was thinking all this time because of the scare of the media, the scare of, I mean, how many people have told me to get a freaking test? And the only thing the test is going to do is tell me if I'm positive or negative. It ain't going to do a damn thing to make me feel better. The hype of the media and all that was going on during this time and how I felt. And I just feel it's important to record that from the day that I felt it. I mean, I started probably Wednesday with a headache. I think if the people did not call me on Friday and say, we tested positive and here's how we feel, and I went, headache. That's what I've had for 3 days. I wouldn't be so concerned. Uh, I can feel the energy level go like this all of a sudden, guys. So unless anybody has a question, I'm going to get out of here. I got a couple of things I need to do. One of them is, if you're a reseller, you may want to be around tomorrow morning on the Bearded Picker Show. We are going to talk about, I'm sure we're going to talk about the email that everybody got from Amazon about IPI and storage for Q4. I don't think I lost it. It's in there somewhere, isn't it? I have all the videos. I did not delete any videos. They all should be up there somewhere. Yeah, that estate planning one, I need to go back and watch myself because I really need to work on that. Sue says, agreed. Scare of media is why I mentioned nasal swab test not so bad. Listen on TV and hear crazy things. Yeah, they also talk about, they only talk about the death rate. Nobody mentions the recovery. There's more people recovering from this than hospital beds. So somebody's recovering at home. Most didn't even know there was a pandemic. You're absolutely right, Arthur. You got instant news media that can be broadcast on 500 different channels, and they break in for anything now. You got social media, and then you got the widespread of the internet where everybody just puts crazy shit out there to begin with. Nose picking, I think I need to put that up on my front page if I can find that estate planning video. I will look for it later today. I'm going to actually lay down for a little bit. My head's starting to thump a little. It's not warm in here today. My airs are blowing ice cold, guys, right now. It's not hot yet. If it gets hot out here, we have a plan. We'll shut the big airs up on top off. I believe there's a problem in this type of air conditioning system. Real quick, in this type of air conditioning system, there is a switch that shuts the system down so that it doesn't burn itself up or set itself on fire because of high temperature. When it's 115 and the sun is beating down on top of something black, that black is not 115 degrees. It's like a car. It goes up in temperature. It is so hot that there's not enough cool air to cool it down and make it not throw that switch. So that switch throws itself and shuts the units down to keep it from burning up. That's why what the problem is. I've looked all day online. I laid in bed yesterday, and that's all I kept doing was looking at YouTube videos about my air's not working in high temperature, but work perfectly under 100 degrees. And they do. I will look for that video, nose picking. Give me till tomorrow, and you'll find it on the front page of my YouTube. Guys, remember, God loves you. No, I'm trying. If you feel you need a COVID test, go get one. I don't feel that way. Sorry. Remember, until the next time, just try and do the right thing. God bless, man. I'll talk to you.